Good morning, everyone. My name is Konama Darteh, and I welcome you to my final presentation in statistics. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. The topic under focus is gender associated with level of education, with a particular research question, factors contributing to gender disparity in STEM education in the United Kingdom. That is of interest because the United Kingdom has shown gender parity in their level of education. This might seem that there is no gender gap in their educational system, but Gina Davis Institute proved otherwise, stating that in the United Kingdom, men outnumber women in fields such as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, with a proportion of 78% being men and only 22% being women. With the literature reviews, I was able to find factors that contribute to gender disparity in STEM education. Sarah explored some of these factors, being ability belief, gender stereotype, and self-concepts. Also, there is a supporting article that talked more about factors contributing to gender disparity other than what Sarah has already talked about. These factors are factors that Natalia explored, being cultural stereotypes and lack of role models that female students will look up for in this STEM field. Also, Gina Davis Institute conducted a research on TV shows that most family in the United Kingdom enjoys, and it was established that the TV shows with STEM content have male dominating, with 60.7% male characters in these shows and only 39.3% being female characters in this field. This actually proved the point that indeed there is gender gap in some form of education in the United Kingdom. The overall research questions say that is gender associated with level of education? Let's provide a little background of the method used in this research. I used a subset of the European Social Survey Round 9, which is the ESS data sets. And this data set was published in October 2019 and included 19 countries in the world. With a subset of gender respondents, 2,204 participants responded being male and female. I categorized education into 3 sections, being bachelor's degree, postgraduate, and vocational. With the inferential test, I used chi-test because chi-test is appropriate for my research since I'm dealing with 2 categorical independent variables. With a null hypothesis that says that there is no relationship between gender and level of education. There is an alternative hypothesis which states otherwise, that there is indeed a relationship between gender and level of education. Let's take a look at these univariate graphs. I have 2 univariate graphs, one for gender distribution and one for level of education. From this graph, there is no doubt that indeed female participants were more than male participants. Female participants being 54.72% and males being 45.28% responded being male or female. With the distribution of level of education, we see the highest being vocational skill. This means that most of the participants who responded to education are either in vocational school or have completed, with a proportion of 51.72% being vocational. The next highest is postgraduate, which has a proportion of 17.11%. And the least is bachelor's degree with a proportion of 14.29%. Now, let's explore this bivariate graph. Bivariate graph shows the relationship between these 2 variables. If you take a closer look at this variable or this graph, you can notice that both male and female distribution are on the same level. This accounts for the conclusion that I will talk about later. Let's explore the results and conclusion. A 1.1362 x squared value was obtained with a degree of freedom of 2 and p-value of 0.566%. 0.566, with the p-value being this greater than the significance level of 0.05. The data available to me did not provide enough evidence for me to reject the null hypothesis that says that there is no relationship between gender and level of education. From this research, I've learned a lot, but one thing that I want to share is the thing that resonated with me. I realized that it might be obvious that gender inequality exists in all parts of the world, in the UK as well, especially in their STEM education. However, with a statistical approach, it might prove otherwise. This might account for the difference in conclusion that I had from the research, the literature review. There is indeed contradiction. Mine stated that there is no relationship between gender and level of education. This might be concluded that there might be lurking variables that account for the relationship in gender and level of education. With suggestions and limitations, I suggest that future research should use current datasets as it has been already established. VSS datasets was used for this research which was established in 2019. So using a 2019 dataset to conclude a 2023 phenomenon will not project the best conclusion. So with limitations, there might be inaccurate datasets which will affect the findings or my final conclusion. As already established, ESS is 2019 and we are concluding in 2023, so there might be some contradictions. Also, disregard of lurking variables. Indeed, I only consider gender and level of education, but it might be more. And also, I might be committing type 2 error. This happens when I fail to reject the null hypothesis, when it is indeed false. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to my presentation. This